Good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching my channel. I have a little time this evening, and hopefully I'll be able to finish this video. If I can't, I'll just have to start over or do a couple of videos. Anyways, I'm going to talk a little bit about, the title of this video is Here's Why I'm Done with Nice. And let me explain. Okay. um, People, let's see. Why am I done with nice? I should start by saying that might be done with nice, but I am most certainly not done with compassion, love, generosity, those things. But anyone can be nice. Nice has its place, certainly. But it is way too easily corrupted. Okay? And the other thing is that people in general, society in general, wants you to be nice. Wants nice. They want feel good. They want to feel good. They don't want to be, in general, people don't want to be challenged all that much by pretty much anything. And basically, authenticity is suffocated a lot of the time because of this desire, this like insatiable desire backed by a lot of fear, for everyone to just play nice, be nice. And I'm not saying that nice doesn't have its place, but I feel that especially women, and I feel like this is not such a common thing, but especially in Western culture, that's just what I know and what I've seen, I've experienced and observed, that women who, it's more rare for women who have like true authentic empowerment and like a rooted sense of self and intuition, they understand what I'm saying, because when you get to the point as a woman, especially, specifically, I should say, what I'm talking about right now is, when you get to the point where you are tapping into something like fundamental, your intuition, the goddess inside, and where God is, where love is, where wisdom is. Not a so-called empowerment, where it's more measured by what you're doing on the outside, but what I'm talking about is an empowerment that really comes up from the inside. And when women reach that state, they understand what I'm talking about, because there's just so much demand on women in general to be nice. Just be nice. And, excuse me, and like loving is correlated with nice. And the thing is, when you're actually genuine, and not just genuine, but you are tapped into a fundamental rooted empowerment, you know very well that love, being loving, being being love, striving to embody love is not always nice. Nice love is love within a woman for herself, for her fellow man and woman, is tapped into a universal principle of love, universal love, which has so many deep aspects to it. The self-love, the love for your fellow man and woman, love for your child, love between husband and wife, love between parents and children, and that cosmic love, which is also called, is deeply harmonious, right? But it's not stuck to a certain caricature or stereotype of what being loving is, or what love is. Okay? You have to learn how to, through practice, of reaffirmations and learning to meditate or heal yourself, you have to tap in and learn from that love what it is exactly. And it's a difficult thing to explain, but what I can tell you is that there are many aspects of that wise woman, that wise love, that cosmic love, that people wouldn't stereotypically or typically categorize as love, because people tend to think love is always nice, right? Or they at least want love to be always nice, right? And I always just got time after time in my life, I always tried to strive to be authentic, and I obviously had many flaws and still have many flaws and don't go about things perfectly. But people would get inspired by what I say, or just be inspired by who I am, right? And as soon as I'm not smiling and serving tea, all of a sudden I'm not as soon as I put my foot down about something, or I sense something that is strong and it comes out strong, or in more serious cases, I really have to be, like a mama lion, people tended to, throughout my life, get turned off and prejudiced towards me after that, because I just must not be the caring person they thought I was, and there was so much demand on me, I felt, all the time to be nice, and because nice correlates to so many people, to society in general, I feel nice correlates to love, Nice correlates to authenticity. Where actually, in my experience, nice has its place, but is easily corrupted. Being nice could be anything. You could be totally fake and be nice, or you could be totally genuine and be nice. The my point is that nice is kind of like this junk food that everybody kind of wants, and they always want to eat it, and they always want it to be there, and they always want it to be available to them, and the more I healed, and the more I stopped worrying about the more self-worth I had, and the more I stopped worrying about more egotistical complexes within me, about what people thought, or what I thought about myself in a negative light, in maybe a downright, hateful light, when I started to heal myself of those complexes, I just realized I had like almost this need to say, no, I'm not nice. I'm compassionate. I can be compassionate. I strive to be compassionate, loving, generous, caring, not nice. Nice in my life has, as I have said before, been so easily misunderstood, so easily corrupted, not just by the person being nice, but you try to be genuinely nice, and it gets easily mistranslated. Things get missing in translation, or people interpret it wrong, where the interpretations consciously or subconsciously becomes, she's the type of person who will make me feel good, and won't ever rock the boat, and everyone people who really know me that's not the case, but people I first meet or work with or whatever throughout my life, all of a sudden, if I'm more than just this nice person, I have always been a pretty intuitive person, and intuitive things aren't always. Sorry, one second. Sorry, I was listening for the kids. Intuitive things having to do with genuine human experience, and striving for authentic love, authentic expression, harmony, love, that process is not always comfortable, and it's not always nice, and it takes people of character, and it takes people with consciousness, willingness to tap in deeper, and the more any room I gave for okay, I have a space in my life for nice, any room I gave, people would just I just saw would just eat it up, and turn me into something that they wanted, and oh, she's nice, and nice is so neutral that it's they're turning me into whatever they want. When if I am clearly compassionate, or practicing compassion instead of nicety, then it's more clear about who I am. I feel my sweetness and my sweet expression, which comes naturally to me around people and stuff, can be imbued with compassion and these more sort of like substantial rooted things that come out of authentic love, authentic intuition, authentic expression, And whereas I've just found that nice is just too nice. People will just take my nice and turn it in whatever they want. And then there's been so much misunderstanding regarding nice for me. And I think a lot of people would have a lot of objections to what I'm saying. But I'm trying to explain, I'm trying to express something that's difficult to explain, but I'm doing my best. And it really has to do with a certain amount of assurity in oneself after a time, after having to go through stages in their life time and time again to heal themselves from past trauma, to really work consciously on tapping into authenticity and intuition and divinity, where this true soul strength is, and I feel like this message is really, really important for women, especially because how many times is nice turned, molded, abused in women, and in the world as a rule, in society as a rule, as something that pretty much goes unquestioned and is pretty unconscious, the way it is constantly used to manipulate, by women and people, people in relationship to women. And what I like to strive for, what I like to help women find, and first and foremost help myself constantly tap into and find, is that wise woman. Is that wise woman who is rooted, who is so grounded, and yet reaching up and so spiritual, cultivating that spirituality, and who knows her worth not because of what she's doing and sort of accumulating as a so-called empowered woman, but that empowerment, true empowerment, comes from a deep knowing where women can imbue themselves with through cultivation of listening to their inner voice, that comes from the earth, that comes from divinity, divine soul, love, God, that comes from that place, that's grounded in her roots, in her body, in her ancestral line, and having said all that, the point is that I feel that it's better for women to be tapped into that, and to realize that you don't have to be nice. You don't have to be nice. Nice is too malleable. It's too easily taken up and used in whichever way. If you truly tap into authentic compassion, authentic love, generosity, then when when you need to put your foot down. You know when you need to fight. You know when you need to defend. And you learn step by step how to utilize that through a soul knowing, a soul rhythm. And this is a very rare practice, a very rare practice because it takes effort and focus and commitment to wanting to get there in one's center, in one's being. And it's a continuous journey, and it takes humility to constantly be listening from the inside. So that's why I'm done with nice. That's why I've been done with nice. Way too many people throughout my life have shown me that society in general truly expects women to be nice and to play nice. And what I discovered is that nice is too weak. Nice is too weak because it doesn't really have a soul or a character. It's just there to soften the blow a bit. And what I discovered is sometimes it does have a place sometimes, but it doesn't really ever serve me all that much. When I tap into my soul realm, into my intuition, much more solidified, rooted emotions and ways of being are expressed that cannot be manipulated. They cannot be pushed around because they come from a grounded place. And in that place there is room for truly well-placed anger or well-placed ferocity, war-placed woman warrior identity, and it's not forbidden. In the realm of nice, the woman warrior is forbidden. She is suffocated. She is imprisoned. Some realms of nice, maybe not. But most realms of nice, most nice kingdoms are not, you don't see women warriors all that much. Even when she is needed. When things around her desperately need the woman warrior identity and she is not forthcoming, it's because there are whole societal realms literally built on nice and things like an authentic, truly empowered, rooted woman is the very ingredient to make all that collapse. And so she is deeply discouraged and as a result deeply afraid, afraid to be discovered, because being a woman like that is accused of not being nice, not being a nice girl. And nobody likes a nice girl. And nobody likes a not nice girl, a misbehaved woman. So she is. I encourage you to find her. I encourage you to tap into your intuition at all costs, every moment of every day, and cultivate her. Call to her. And one day you might just take nice in your hand, look at it and say, I don't need it. I don't need it, because I mostly use this so that people won't hate me. And I want to get to the place in my life where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because I know who I am. I know who I am, and people who know who I am are the ones that count and are the ones that matter. And my relationship to love, to God, to soul, down to my roots is what matters. So, thanks for watching, and God bless.